Hey guys, back at it. This is day 344, 345, 346, and 347, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in my 1 year daily diary challenge. This challenge was prompted after I completed a 100-day challenge, and those first 100 days were intuitively prompted through a meditation session. And it's just been an amazing journey. I thank you guys for sticking around and listening in, whoever does. I am really just here for myself to be consistent, do the thing, complete this year. I think it's been very helpful and therapeutic as I've been doing my daily diary entries and speaking it out loud to get some clarity on some things that were just in my head and I didn't really realize until I say it out loud. Again, these are 100% real, raw, organic, uncut, unedited. So I just press record and we just go with it. So I appreciate anybody who subscribes, shares, comments, likes, all the things. Really just I'm so happy that you're here supporting me by listening. So let's get to it. Thursday, I decided to take it easy, but we have the same school routine because the kids are still in school. So, got them up, my daughter up, and then my son up. Today was a day that they had testing at school, so they kind of got up a little bit earlier each. Still separately, but my daughter got up first and I got her to school, made sure she was all situated and allowed her to have conversation if she wanted to or not in the car on the way to school. And then I reminded her that we had planned I would pick her up from school in Carline and we would go to Trader Joe's to get some snacks. So that was just the plan after school. And got my son up and to school and he was all ready for the day. I usually backpack him, so hop him on my back and walk across. And so he's been not wanting to do that and wanting to just walk across with me. And so that's a fine transition if that's his choice. And he's getting bigger. And so it's getting harder for me to carry him across, but I definitely do and I will. But next year in middle school, he won't be able to do that. I'll just have to, take him through Carline and drop him. But it was just lovely to connect with them in the morning. And once I dropped him off, I came home and I got myself into my normal Thursday routine. I did a 90-minute yin yoga series. And so it was just a long hour and a half of stretching and holding poses and working through hips. And I just love those practices. So I did that. And then after that, I got to my normal routine, which is acupressure, grounding, vibration plate, sauna. And after those, I got myself, not really dressed, but I got myself put together enough to go out to Restore Hyper Wellness, did my red light therapy, did my cryotherapy. And I always have a lovely chat with the girls who are there. And so after that, I came home and I got myself dressed and I sat down on the sofa to do more of my Kabbalah classes that I've been doing online virtually. And then packing, like every day, really. There's been some sort of packing, and I can't really pack too much up because I have a latte art class on Saturday. So after Saturday, then that'll be more packing because I don't really need to have everything out. So did a little bit of packing, did a little bit of, learning. Then when it was time to get my daughter, hop in the car and go wait for her, and then picked her up and we went to Trader Joe's. It's been raining on and off every day, really. So I wanted to make sure I was home in time to get my son from the bus. And funny enough, I I didn't see my phone notification when it notified me that he said, "Hey, I'm close." And so as I saw the message and I walked out the door, he was there walking in, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't even see the message." And he was a little upset at first, but then it wore off. So, we did have a really great conversation, because we had a hard night. And I was just getting frustrated at him, leaving trash and leaving mess and not really having responsibility. And then I made myself aware that it's not just his fault, it's my fault, because I just go around and pick up after everybody and pick up after everything. And if he leaves a mess, I'll pick it up, and I won't require them to do that. And so I took a moment and I acknowledged that in myself, that I can't really be mad at him 100% because I've supported this behavior. And so then we had a conversation about it, and I was like, I know I've been picking up after you and I've been doing this and that. And I said, that's really not helping you become a man in the future that's going to be able to do these things on your own. I said, how we're learning to cook together and I'm teaching you to do basic things. Well, I said, even basicer than, and I know that's probably not a word, but the most basic level is, taking care of yourself, picking up after yourself. So like showering and cleaning up after the bathroom, and when you have a snack or when you have food, picking it up and cleaning the dish and putting it away, like all these things. And I said, if you make a mess in the bathroom, clean it up. I said, I'm not mad at messes. I'm just mad, like not even mad. I'm just frustrated when it comes to not being responsible. And this, I said, you want more privileges on your phone. So this is the responsibility that I was talking about. Being responsible in the house for yourself, for your things, for your messes. And as soon as he kind of tapped out, I could see that he was like done. I quickly stopped the conversation, but I told him, I was like, I will not be picking up after you anymore. I won't be doing these basic things for you anymore. I said, this is your responsibility, and the more you're responsible for it, the more that you'll get, these extra privileges that you want, because you have to be basically responsible for yourself before you get extra things. And so he was a little upset about that because nobody's really happy when something's changing. And so I allowed that to sit with him. And, since we went to Trader Joe's, we had all these extra, new snacks and foods and things. And so, for dinner, we just kind of like made stuff. And both kids have tried to, say that they want to eat healthier. And I've already been on a alkaline diet since Wednesday. And, or actually the Wednesday before. So it's been 1 week already. And I've been feeling lighter. I've been feeling healthier. I've been going to the bathroom every day. Like, I have been just feeling so much better doing this. And it's not 100% true alkaline. It's really alkaline to to the degree that I can with the foods that I have, especially with trying to like clean the pantry out and get rid of stuff. But yes, it's been feeling really great. And I've been so tired every night at 9:30, it seems. So like this evening, Thursday evening, I fell asleep on the sofa at 9:30, and my daughter and I were trying to watch this show and finish it. And I think we did finish it, but it was just like I was dragging. And so we were like, got ourselves all to bed late, not super late, but later. And my son was, snuggling up next to me, watching the show. And we got up to bed and we all went to bed. And, I have my new bedtime routine, which is like swish my oil in my mouth for 5 minutes, which is the castor oil and the coconut oil, the fractionated coconut oil. And then as I'm doing that, take castor oil and do a foot massage and kind of like break up the scar tissue, break up all the crunchies in my foot. And then, spit out the oil, brush my teeth. And the second one is like another pump of castor oil, put two little dabs on my eyelids, and rub that in, and then the rest of it goes on my other foot. So both feet massage with castor oil on the eyelids because it will seep through to the eyes and just continue eye health. Break up the little floaters, and there's a lot of different speculation about the floaters and like, is it high blood sugar? Is it parasites? Is it this? Is it that? So talking about parasites, I did get this supplement, which is oregano oil, olive leaf extract, garlic. It's like got 4 or 5 different components to it that's supposed to, help remove and keep away parasites. And so I got that for myself and my son to do, just because he's had a little bit of things pop up that to me seem like it could be an issue. And we've thought about it before, but I can only do what I can do on my time. When they're with their dad, he does different things. So it's all with grace and whatever, I can do. And it's not so much control. It's just that, if we're trying to alleviate some kind of problem in his body, the more we can tackle it, the better. So that's my kind of nighttime routine. And then I will give my son a magnesium massage on his back. And then we'll chat if he's wanting to chat. But I think this was more of a chill night. And so we all went to bed. And then Friday morning, another test morning for the kids at school. So got up, got my daughter ready, got her to school, got my son ready, got him to school. Got myself home and did my normal Friday kettlebell routine with the other things. And as soon as I was done with that, then I got myself dressed and hopped over to my grandmother's house, because today was a day that the Goodwill people were coming to get all of her furniture for donation and anything else that they could take. So I got there early and I started to get boxes and I started to unpack things into boxes and bins. Her ladies from church came and they helped as well. They had helped go through all of her pantry, and they had helped go through her fridge and freezer again. I was able to get a lot done. I was literally there from 10 a.m. to like 2:45, 3 o'clock. And so got everything kind of like unpacked from the things and moved all the furniture to a central location if I could. When the Goodwill people came, I told them what furnitures to get. And then I was talking to my grandmother about all the things in the house and anything she was like changing her mind on and all that stuff. So they came, they took all the furniture except one of the beds that they couldn't fit in the truck. And it started to pour, it started to rain at the end, and they were just getting soaked, and I just felt, kind of bad for them. And so there was a lot of things in the house that they didn't take that were for donation. And I was just like, collecting it into a pile. And obviously nobody's going to be able to go look at the house with this next a week and a half, 2 weeks until she gets the movers to come. But I took videos of each room and sent them to her and showed her, the progress of the things that are gone and the things that are staying. And then I grabbed a few things that I could use within the next, section of time. I hopped in my car because I knew it was pouring. It was still pouring, raining. It was like a really bad storm. And so I wanted to get home in time to get the kids from the bus stop. So I got home And I didn't get it home in enough time to get my daughter from the bus stop. So she was like almost to the door when I pulled up. But it wasn't raining as hard. When I was driving, it was just so bad. It was coming down where I like thought I needed to pull over. But I was grateful. I was like praying blessings over myself and blessings over, my travels and other people. And as I, got home, my daughter was there. And so we went inside and, we enjoyed the time together. And then I went to go get my son from the bus stop. And now this is their dad's weekend because it's Father's Day weekend. And so he would be coming to pick them up later in the evening. And so I was like, make sure your bags are packed, all your things are set. I'll, get some food going. And my daughter and I had this plan of when she came home that we're going to get to her desk and we're going to tackle it and pack it up. And once we packed up her desk, then we were going to do karaoke until her dad came. And so we did. We put on some music and we were vibing. We were tackling the desk, and then I was, doing cookie things with my son because we got a cookie kit. And I did forget that because Fridays are typically our day to go to Whole Foods together. So this was like one of the last Whole Foods dates. And we went to Whole Foods together and we got some snacks and we got a cookie decorating kit. And so he was doing his cookie decorating while my daughter was cleaning her desk and I was helping both of them. And so we just were having a good old time packing up the desk, and then we started to do karaoke, and that was a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to do that with her. And then their dad came, and so when he came, I brought him some dishes that I was going to get rid of, and I guess he needed them. My daughter said he doesn't have a lot of plates, so gave him that and talked to him for a minute about, setting up a time on Monday to hang out and just like go over travel things and logistics and whatnot. So then they left and I just hung out the rest of the night, which wasn't too much longer. So I just got into my Kabbalah and wrapped it up and went to bed. And then Saturday came. Well, actually, before I went to bed and all of that, I started to clean up the kitchen as much as I could for the next day when I had, my latte art class coming. So then I went to bed and I woke up not too early, but I felt refreshed and definitely had a great sleep. And then that was me like putting more things away. I actually decided to list my patio furniture and release that. I listed it in the morning and somebody messaged me right away and wanted to come get it. So I sold it almost immediately. And that was crazy, but kind of, cool. And then I've had, other things that I've listed that people have wanted to get, and some people have fallen through and some people haven't. And so I cleaned up everything, got ready for the class, just basically went over the information that I was going to teach and kind of put it in the hands of the creator to be like, I know the information, I know the information, blessings on this class and everything that needs to be said and done, let it be. And so I just released it so I wasn't stressing and worrying about it. And then my friends came and they were so excited. We talked about their tea house. We talked about, the equipment and, different logistics. And we, worked through, they wanted to use these frothers and I've never used them before. So we were just testing out the different settings, talking about milk texture, talking about pouring latte art. So I used my espresso machine to show them how I would do it on the espresso machine, and then do the frothers. And so the frothers really made a lot of heavy, dense milk foam, and it was really hard to pour any kind of pretty designs with them. I mean, not impossible, but hard. So then we did some practice with the espresso machine, and they were just, practicing and pouring and practicing and pouring. And so it was a full hour of doing all of this. And so once we were done, they were so happy and had such a great time, and they left. And so once they left, I took a minute and, got something to eat and sat down and did some more Kabbalah. I'm trying to get through a few different levels. So I did level 1, level 2, and doing level 3. And I decided, after sitting down and having a moment, I would, get up and I would start doing more packing, and I put boxes together. I was doing a lot of stuff, bringing stuff from upstairs, downstairs, and things out of closets. And so for right now, I'm very happy with everything, because there's nothing really in the closets except for my clothes and my daughter's clothes. There's, nothing in the attic, nothing in the storage shed. Now I don't have any patio furniture. I've, just taken everything out on display, and then put certain things in boxes that we don't need right away. And as I was going through the kitchen, cleaning up the kitchen, I was like, we don't really need our silverware, because if we're at my mom's house, we don't need the silverware, don't need to take it. And if we move to a new place, why can't we just buy new silverware? Some cool silverware that we all really like black or iridescent, or skeleton bones or whatever. It'll be cool to get new silverware. So then I'm just looking at things analytically and do we really need it? Do we not need it? Is it really that important? And so I'm listing more things, and people are messaging me about different stuff. And so I was able to sell a few things, and that was great. So the rest of the day was really just, packing, cleaning, taking breaks. I decided to move some boxes around, and then I got into my Kabbalah, and I literally fell asleep on the sofa watching one of the segments. I didn't call the kids for bed, and I felt really bad, and I dragged myself to bed when I woke up from my sleep, because it was really late. And so went to sleep, didn't really do my whole nighttime routine, and just went to sleep. And then woke up on Sunday, Father's Day, feeling refreshed, feeling revived, feeling renewed. And I got up and relaxed, checked my messages after I did my meditation in the morning, for anything that somebody wanted to purchase. And so I was going to sell some more things and do some more packing and just have a relaxing day. So it was actually raining, and I got to stand out in the rain and enjoy the rain and let the water wash over me and just enjoy that moment. And like I said, I got some things out and listed some more things for sale, did some more packing. And today I was kind of a little bit tapped out of the Kabbalah. And so I just decided to watch some of this Human Garage stuff. It's about fascial maneuvers and readjusting your body by yourself. Not necessarily the bones, but doing maneuvers to realign yourself. And I have to learn more, because I'm probably, not saying exactly what it is, but it's really, really cool. And it makes a lot of sense. And so the guy who does this is really into astrology, and he's definitely astrology plays a big role in how people react to diets and medical treatments. And so he was talking to an astrologer And this astrologer was talking about these like different aspects of linguistics and astrology and some other things. And I was like, oh, that sounds really interesting. So it did the rabbit holed me to his page and his information, and his videos are like 2 to 3 hours long. So, as I'm working in the house and getting things done and relaxing and eating and jumping on the trampoline and doing things, I'm watching this guy's content. And then later on in the evening, I decided to call the kids and say goodnight. And my son was like a little depressed. I was trying not to bother them because it was Father's Day, so let them hang out with their dad. But he was like depressed because something didn't happen that he wanted to happen. And I, commiserated with him, but allowed him the space to feel his feelings. And yeah, so that was Sunday. Sunday was just a relaxed day at home. I mean, I reached out to a few people who are on my mind to reach out to for Father's Day. Again, these calendar holidays, you should appreciate your fathers every day, the people who are important in your life. My thing with my dad, because he passed away when I was a teenager, I hadn't really, I don't get to appreciate him all the time, but I can do that in my own ways. And just recently I've been starting to think about how can I help him in this stage of his soul elevate and, create more light for him. And so I was like, I really want to go to a church and light a candle, but I know that the church that has the candle lighting, it was Father's Day, it was a Sunday. I wasn't going to go over there, and because I know it gets crazy. So I found a candle that I had in the house, and I, set my intentions and said my little prayer and lit it. And it was just beautiful to, every time the candle caught my eye, to just remember my dad on Father's Day, and just know that as the candle is light, so is he, and I'm sending the light to him, with my intention of the whole thing, lighting it and remembering him. So that was Sunday. That was Father's Day. Again, I didn't really stay up too late. I called it a night at like 9:30. Then I went upstairs to do my nighttime routine, which is, the castor oil foot massages, the swishing oil, the castor oil on my eyes. But this time I was like, I was listening to Barbara O'Neill stuff, and she was saying like castor oil packs. And I said, well, I'm not going to go into that right now, but I have these really cool wool socks, and I can put the castor oil, like do the massages, and then before I go to bed, just like lay the castor oil, like a whole handful on each foot, and put the socks on and let it kind of soak in overnight. And so I decided to do that, and I'll just keep doing that. And then, I could just throw the socks in the washer and, give them a good wash, and then they're ready to go for another, castor oil sock packs or whatever. But it was a lovely couple of days, and we are really in the final bit of things. So like 2 weeks exactly from Saturday, from moving, and it's flown by so fast already, and it's gonna fly by the next 2 weeks. Got a lot of stuff packed in the next 2 weeks. This week coming up, I have a lot of hangouts with people, just connecting and hanging out. We're going to Sliding Rock finally. The kids are off on Juneteenth, and then I have my grandma's move on Saturday, and my daughter's going away party on Sunday, and then that next week we have graduation, and then literally I pick the U-Haul up and we start packing it out. So it's going to be really quick. It's going to come before I know it, and I'm just so excited. Everything's just kind of like moving that way. And a lot of the things that I was listening to on Sunday, we're talking about your heart over your mind, and that you don't really say you think a lot of the time. You say you feel. Like, I feel it with my heart. I know with my heart. And so to be more in tune with your heart and your intuition, which I knew about intuition, but I never actually separated those things where it's like your analytical mind versus your heart, and your heart actually is connected to your soul more. And yeah, so I'm just now like, okay, moving forward, I'm going to be more heart forward in my decisions and my thinking. And not that I'm just going to like let whatever comes into, like, I'm not just going to do whatever all the time. I'm going to feel it with my heart and think through my heart and know through my heart and feel in my body like what feels right, what doesn't feel right. And just attack and aim for my passions. So yeah, that's kind of my plan in the future. So thank you guys for being here, for listening in, for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all the things or none of the things. I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you again. Peace.